I really want to get this one out first to clear up any confusion. Golf sidekick is not anti-driver. Learn to hit the driver. We don't play driver on the golf course when we're spraying and praying all over the place, losing a lot of golf balls, creating mental anguish. We need to learn it away from the course though, because eventually you're going to need this bad boy to level up. How do we do that? We go get lessons, we learn it, we get confidential, we come to the course, we introduce it. Once you get confidential, hit it further, hit it straighter, bam. Regardless what you do of the tee. When we approach the green, we want to hit the center of the green. Why? Because the center of the green never moves. What we mean is take into account your shot shape. Right to left to right, to hit the middle of the green. Aiming at the middle of the green without taking into account your shot shape is a bit stupid. So on this one, we got the ball above our feet, meaning it's going to go right to left. So I have to send this out right and expect it to turn over because the ball's above my feet. Whatever shot shape is going to come for you on your shot, aim for that so that the finishing position is center of the green. Okay, we're on the right edge over there. As amateurs, we're going to miss a lot of greens. So we're going to manage the golf course with our short game a lot of the time. But we stymie ourselves and handicap ourselves by hitting 60 degrees and 56 degrees when we have so much green to work with, and the most reliable and easy shot to hit without chunking it or the spin rate variability is to hit a 7, 8 or 9 iron along the ground using all the green. And that's one of the best ways to manage your short game, because you go high, you're going to cry. And as Gary Player says, you go low, you get the hose. So we're going to get the hose on this one. We're going to take a 7 iron, let it skedaddle right up to the hole. Now that's going to be a far more reliable shot. I bet you if you take 10 of those versus 10, 56 or 60 degrees, you're going to find it much easier to scoopity-doop along the ground. We need a starting line on every single golf shot, from putts all the way through to tee shots. I know that this 4 iron lately hasn't been that reliable. So the shot shape normally is straight with a little draw, but now it's going a bit straightish or a fader. So I need a starting line that's going to take into account my shot shape. There's a dead tree toward the left side. That is my target. I'm going to start on that line and have the ball come back in with a fader. If it goes straight, it's still a great shot. We're going to find something along the line to line our club face up to over here. We'll line the club face up to that, line our stance up to that line, and then look at the big target in the distance and try hit it. There's the little fader I was talking about, and it's going to find its way back to the middle of the fairway instead of just aiming down the middle willy-nilly, expecting a phantom straight shot. We have to take into account our shot shape. Of course, your start line depends on your shot shape, and that you know your shot shape. Because being able to manage a golf course, you have to know yourself. One of the things I knew about myself was I would just get so tense and so attached to the outcome that I would lose my mind. So what I learned was a thing Tiger Woods spoke about, where he gives himself 10 yards before the ball and 10 yards after the ball to be in the shot, and then once he's past that 10 yards away from the shot, he's out of the shot. He's gone. It's out of his mind. He's moving on to the next shot already. So within 10 yards of the ball, I'm already assessing what's going on. I see it's roughly going to be about 140. We got the 150 yard marker over here. It's wind off the left, looking a little bit with us. We've got the pin in the center of the green, and we know we want to be short right or on the green, never over here. So we have to pick the correct club. Then, regardless of the outcome, we walk our 10 paces and we're over it. Whether it's a great shot or it's a shitty shot, and we're on to the next shot. I'm already thinking about that one. Probably right to left, a little bit uphill, beautiful. And I'm already finding my line in my head, envisioning the putt. I've already moved on from this shot. You may be asking yourself, who am I to give you these tips? Well, I finished 4th in my club championships 3 times. And we've picked our line. We know it's right to left. We just already kind of had an instinct, and we're not going to overread. Stop overreading the green. Pick out the slope, pick out your line, know that your pace is combined with your line in your brain, and go for it. Go on your instinct. The more you read a putt, the more you miss it, because you're finding ways to sabotage your stinky self. So I find my line, I line up the putter, and I look at the target. Don't spend too much time looking at the ball. Give it a whackaroo. And look at that, absolutely stinky winky, great shot. I can buy myself flowers. Another putting tip, we putt to make the putt. I didn't putt there to leave myself a tap in. I didn't putt there to be scared of leaving it 3 foot short or 3 foot past the hole. I tried to make it. And then when I have this putt, I try to make this putt. You're resetting every single shot. It's the same thing as in the fairway, 10 yards toward the ball, 10 yards past the ball. Hit the putt, get over it. New process. Make this putt. Bam. Google Earth is your friend. So what I did on this hole last night is figure out where is the widest part. And the widest playable part on this hole is 60 yards wide. And the distance to that area is 196 to 215 yards. So I'm going to hit my 200-yard club from the tee, knowing that whatever comes out, I'm going to have 60 yards of width to play with. Little feeder, pick the start line, bam, 200 yards away, really wide up there. A rangefinder is your best friend when you're managing a golf course. I use the REDTIGER, available in the link in the description, less than 120 bucks, normally 110 on Amazon, everything I could ask for. The way we use it, we shoot to the tree over here to see how far we have to hit it to the edge of the water. That tree I know is on the edge of the water. That's 125 yards away. If I can't carry that tree, I have to go to the right. So I'll shoot the big slope beyond the tree on the right hand side to see what club I would have to hit. So to hit that slope and bounce left, I'd need to hit about 185 yards. And with 292 yards to the pin, if I hit this properly and it goes 170 yards, I'm going to leave myself 120, which is a beautiful pitching wedge, or 48 degree. We're just going to try set up our free throw distances, because a free throw distance is high confidentiality, high trustworthiness. Right onto that slope. Now it's going to hit that slope and bounce to the left. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. We want to know our free throw distances, and our free throw distances are the distances with the clubs that we hit that we feel high trust and high confidence in. Those two things alone, trust and confidence, help you hit amazing golf shots. If you don't trust it, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel confident, you're not going to commit. And that's the biggest thing we need. So I've hit this one to 125 yards, which is normally my 48 degree free throw distance, and that is absolutely perfect. Again, the ball's above my feet, so it's going to turn right to left. We have to take that into account. So we're going to put this way on the right side of the green, and hopefully it draws to the middle. Get that pace, baby. That's a great little pace right there. Course management is a big topic. It can be easy to neglect the short putts, thinking about all these other things, but the short putts are really key. We want to just keep it low, stab it, boom, stabberoo. Par 3 management. I feel a lot of simpatico for higher handicaps or people who cannot carry bunkers here. The whole point of managing a course is that the golf architect has put things into your field of vision that are going to distract you from your goal. Your goal is to get the ball in the cup in as few as possible, trying to beat that golf architect's little ass. And the golf architect and the golf designer at this course is none other than the great Jack Nicholson, winner of 18 majors. What he's done here is he's put the desert on the right hand side. I want to avoid that. You want to avoid that. You always look for the space, you look for Texas. Where's the big ass area that you're going to be safe and conservative? On the left, we could probably fit about 40 barbecues in there, and that's where we're going to go. Left side, favoring that, removing the bunker from our minds. Just like that. And let's have a little fade on it. Because I was aiming at left, we've done very well. We are greenside. That is great for a lot of people, and for most people, a puttable around the fringe is absolutely beautiful. It's almost the same as being on a green. Putting is included in course management because you have to check out the slopes. Very important. If you don't take it into account, you're going to leave yourself a very difficult putt remaining, a 6-footer up the hill, and then probably 3-putt. So we want to take into account the slope. Uphill is really important, so we don't leave it short like a little piss willy. So we're going to go a little bit on the left, not much, and just give it a whack. Well, probably should have gone from the right, but we've left ourselves about 1.5 foot, nearly 2 feet there, and that's perfect. What I picked up in Scotland playing in 2, 3, 4 club wind, and today we've got a 2.5 club wind, is that you have to hit the shots that you know how to hit. We can't go finagle special shots unless we really practice them and know how to hit them. When you try hit that like low one with a big draw and you're using too low loft, you just smother it and you actually kill your score. Whereas if you just think to yourself, if I hit my normal shot, yeah, I would lose 30 yards on it because the wind's so strong, but at least it will go somewhere in play instead of trying to finagle something I've never done, which then causes me to lose a ball, take a drop, have to re-tee. So I'm not going to try to keep it especially low. That one I bet won't even make 180. The wind is so strong. That's crazy. That's gone 163 yards. So that probably lost about 40 yards into the strong wind. Now we have a shot that's 187 yards up the hill and it's playing 195 because of the slope. Plus we have wind into us, probably 3 clubs. So it's actually playing about 220. That's right at the top of my bag. So one of the things I like to do is think of best case scenario. Best case scenario, I hit a 7 wood perfectly. Problem is there's a bit too much spin on it. The wind hits it. Best case, I'm going to land front edge. Best case. What percentage chance is that? Maybe 1 in 15. 1 in 15. The other 14 times, probably going to hit it short into that water there because the wind is just going to push it back. So I have to play the high percentage play. We want to stack the odds in our favor to make the lowest score, and at times like this, prevent the high score. I don't have a club I can hit, playing 220 yards into this breeze up the hill without losing my confidence. So what I'm going to do is lay it up short, pitch it on and try and make the par from there. Unexpected, but sometimes you have to adapt. So I never thought I would do this on a 350, 360 yard hole, is actually lay up short of the water. But I'm nothing if I'm not adaptable, and you can be too. We've left ourselves a beautiful 103 yards. And when we have wind and when we have conditions that are not the normal for us, we have to adapt. We can't just play to a number. Because I'm into the breeze, I'm going to lose a lot of distance. So I'm actually going to hit a pitching wedge from 103 yards because I've got 3 clubs, maybe even 4 with the gusts of wind in the air there. That is very unusual here in Khao Yai in Thailand. Then I've hit a little fader. Look at this. That's pretty close. I've hit that to 10 feet, which is amazing. And something to do with course management is managing our expectations, which is part of managing ourselves. And one of the most eye-opening things I ever learned was the PGA Tour stats for proximity to the hole after certain distance shots. You can see it all on their website, the average distance from the hole that the PGA Tour Pro finishes after hitting a certain distance. The other one was putting. So when you look at a PGA Tour Pro, 3 feet, 99%, 5 feet, 80%, 8 feet, 50%, and 10 feet, you're looking probably at about 40 to 30% of their putts are made. That helps alleviate the pressure you put yourself under when you're putting. I love making 10 footers. I expect to make all of them. I try and make all of them. But if I'm making 3, 4 out of 10 of these, I'm at PGA Tour Pro level. That is pretty cool. One of the most beguiling things I know as a golfer is when you try to play a safe shot and you cock it up. Why did you cock it up? Because you were stuck between being FOMO YOLO, trying to smash a ball up there, and playing safe. If you're going to play safe, commit and be decisive. If you're going to attack, be decisive and commit to it. I'm going to hit a 6-iron down here on a 440 yard hole, and I don't care. I'm not thinking, oh, don't screw this up because it's a safe shot when you really should be hitting the driver because your friends are laughing at you. Nope, I'm a 6-iron hitter. Screw everybody. Watch this shot. Look at that. Decisiveness personified. We've hit a 250 yard 6-iron, and that is difficult to believe, but we are down breeze now. We turned. We've got 3 club wind behind us onto a firm surface downhill. We've got 167 yards, but I don't want the wind to affect the ball that much. When the wind is too strong, we can't judge if we, let's say, hit a pitching wedge. Is it going to fly 167 or is it going to stay short? Is there going to be a gust and it's going to go long? So I'm going to take my normal 167 club, maybe an 8-iron, and just hit like a little punchy one. Keep it a bit lower so that wind doesn't push it too much. Of course, if I didn't hit it as long, I'd try to take advantage of the wind, ride it all the way to the hole. So we're going to take the 8er and hit a little punchy one. Try to keep it a bit lower. And hit a crap one just to the right of the green. Yeah, it's okay up there. We can probably putt that. Putting from off the green can be quite a daunting task if you've never done it before. I know it took me a while to get used to it, but it can be a very valuable skill to have so that you, when your chipping's off or you're feeling a little bit like yippee, you've got something that's going to help you. And eventually, when you get good at this, it's your go-to club that you don't even chip anymore. And I learned to do this in Scotland, and I've been doing it in Thailand, even over the tropical grass, which is like Velcro. You just got to hit it a few times. I can't tell you how to do it. It's just something you have to psychologically get over, because a lot of the time you leave it way short because you're scared, or you hit it way past because you think you're not going to make it to the hole. But as you hit 10, 20, 30 of them, you'll start to learn how to gauge the distance. And that's pretty much all. You know, you're probably going to miss your line a lot of the time, but if you can get this to 2 feet, you're a pretty big dog. Okay, I missed the line. Well, I misread it, I hit the line, but I've left myself a 2.5 footer there for the Pachi. Where I learned the most course management in my life was to take 2 clubs out in the late evening at a course I was a member at, and the pro would let us play 10, 11 and 12, and we'd come back to the clubhouse on the 12th green. And we would play those 3 holes with just a 2 wood and a 6 iron, nothing else. And my best score for those 3 holes as a kid was 2 under par, because we had to improvise. A par 5 is generally a 3-shot hole. Most people are not going for it in 2, regardless of handicap. Majority of people are just not, especially a hole like this cut up by water. I want to play with a 6 iron here the entire hole, every single shot, just because it's more fun to do that, especially when you're learning course management, to show yourself, hey, I can do this with anything. I don't have to always smash driver and play all 14 clubs. Very, very good lessons playing with minimal clubs. We're trying to stack the odds in our favor to give us a better chance of making a good score. We're trying to remove the stuff that's going to give us a bad score. So here, a 6 iron, which I promised you I'm going to hit, has enough trajectory to clear this tree. And that's the thing you have to do. You have to focus on your trajectory. Punch shots, tee shots. You want to know your iron shots, your pitch shots and your chip shots. The trajectory they take, so you can envision it clearer when you want to hit the shot. It's very important, because if you don't know your trajectory, you can't anticipate what you're going to do. Like here, if I go for something like a 9 iron, I'm going to hit this tree in front of me. But if I go for a 7, I can keep it underneath there and get over the next one. I know my trajectory. If you know your trajectory, you can make better club choice and shot choices. So we're going to hit a 6 iron here, and we're going to fade it away from the water toward the middle of the fairway with a little slicing, glancing shot. There we go. And when you're playing an approach shot, you want to see where's the danger, and then you want to avoid that and then find the Texas and play to the Texas. We've got a bunker short, we've got a bunker to the right, pin high. Those are the 2 danger zones, and then obviously to the left where there's water, you don't want to hook it. So the safest play is long, or the safest play is short right, where there's a big ass fairway you can chip up the front of the green. Otherwise you can try to land on the green. If you're feeling like you've got a fader and you're too scared to stick it out to the left because it might go straight into the water, play it at the pin and let it fade into the safe zone, the Texas, and chip it up the green. If you do this and you play your favorite clubs around the golf course, you're going to find yourself sometimes in mistaken positions. So this is not where I want it to be, but it's what I've got. And all I have is a 6 iron, so I have to improvise. And when you can pull off shots while improvising with a club that you don't normally do it with, you think to yourself, damn, I've actually got some game. I could do this with the club I really want to. So if I wanted to do a pitch and run here, I think a nice 52 degree or 48 degree onto the front is going to roll out quite nicely, but I have a 6 iron. So how can I improvise it? To do that, I'm going to have to land it short of the green, because it's much, much lower loft, probably like 10 degrees lower loft. So that worked out really nicely. When you stand on a green and look back at the hole, you can see where your bailout areas are. You can see how big the green is to know how much space you actually have. From the tee or from the approach shot, it looks like that green is like 10 or 15 yards long. This green here is close to 35, 40 yards long, which means I have a lot of space to land a golf ball or run one up. You can see your bailout areas, where there you cannot bail out. Maybe there's a bunker. How close is it set to the green? Now you know, don't go long, because the bunker is going to come into play. You can see where you can bail out and have very flat chips. Where's your flattest chip going to be to certain pins? Where's your slopiest chip going to be from certain pins? This is what you can figure out and start understanding how to approach your course much better. But sometimes, if you got the distance, you've got to give it a whack. Got to get on in 2, par 5. Let's go. Shit. With 205 yards left, we're going for this bad boy over here. And using course management, we want to stick to the right side. We've got left bunker. It's just terrible down there. You're never getting up and down. So we're going to go for that big ass tree on the right there, knowing that if we draw a little bit, we're perfect. If we don't, we're on the right edge of the green, just short, chip and a putt, birdie time. Let's go. Even when we're attacking, we're still using some kind of management so we don't screw it up. Oh.